Oh boy, here we go.
Good evening, savages.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Producer's not here, so
yeah,
we're struggling a little bit.
We're struggle busting a little without him. So yeah.
Hopefully the sound quality's okay.
Hopefully.
Oh, what are we talking about tonight again? Now that we're done with the technical difficulty.
Some of our more fascinating cryptids and other entities that we come across on our grand adventures.
Yeah, and the vast majority of people on all the paranormal pages, they only want to hear about one particular group, and that's those shadow people. So all of those other kind of things.
The most famous shadow one being the Hat Man.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, there's been a lot of requests for us to go over shadow people and Hat Man and other like cryptids, like stuff. So
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
stuff.
So pretty much today is just going to be a hodgepodge of that kind of stuff.
Without the producer here, it might be a lot of us rambling.
Pretty much. He keeps us in line.
Yeah. It's me doing the butt ends, so bear with me.
And if you can't hear us, just turn your volume up louder.
Yeah.
We don't have all the fancy stuff today.
Yeah. I don't know how to work any of the fancy stuff, so yeah.
I don't think it's here anyway.
No, it's here.
It's here.
He just puts it all away, and I am not allowed to touch it.
I don't want to break it.
I don't know how to work it.
I don't want to break it. We're good. No, we're good. So our first entity group that we should probably cover is shadow people. I feel like we go over this one like a lot.
We do. We don't go into depth, but we do end up talking about it a lot because we run into them a lot.
And not a lot of people, even most paranormal groups, can't really identify what they are, what they're about.
You're right. There's a lot of different varying information about what they are. Like some people think they're like interdimensional beings, other people think they're demons, some people think they're just like extraterrestrials,
and other people think if they completely just don't exist, that when you see a shadow, it's nothing more than a shadow.
Yeah. I mean,
no, when there's nobody else in the room and you see a shadow,
and it moves.
Yeah.
And it's not yours.
It's not yours.
There's no body attached to it.
I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah.
It's better when you're working alone in a building and all the lights are on.
And they're done that.
Yep.
And then you have the one who kind of like the, whatever you want to call it, the almighty above all the other little shadowy things.
The Hat Man.
Yeah, I don't say his name. He's HM.
Apparently, a lot of people say he feeds on your fear and that's how he gets stronger. That I don't know about all that.
I think he enjoys the fear more than feeds on it, but that's just my personal opinion from my run-ins with it.
I've never personally ran into him.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with him. Like we had an entity at one of our old houses that was a shadow figure with a hat, but not necessarily like the big. He didn't really do anything. He just like stood there and watched.
Well, that's another word for him. They call them the watchers.
He generally tends to watch, doesn't really interact.
Yeah.
Just seeing him is enough to invoke fear.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't scary. I was just like,
well, but a normal person would be scared.
A normal person would be.
We're like, ooh, okay, do something.
Why are you standing?
Yes, do something.
Look, if you have time to lean and stare at me in my house, you got time to do other things. Like,
Sweep the
Pick
floor.
up a vacuum. Come on.
Right. You have time to like move things or
If you're gonna move it, you might as well clean it.
Right?
yes. Yeah.
And it's my understanding that they generally don't talk.
No. Uh, a lot of people, when they encounter shadow people, or shadow entities, the Hat Man, any other type of shadow being, they don't talk.
Yeah. Most of them are
Uh,
like non-vocal.
they're non-vocal. You more or less get a feeling from them or an emotion attached to them.
Yeah.
There's no vocalization. They're basically just that, a shadow. People have said, I've heard tell of people who have felt them and they're incorporeal. They don't have a tangible form. They they're not solid, so to speak.
Yeah. They a lot of people will claim like when they see them that they're like solid black masses, and it's not really. They're like human shaped
Blobs.
blobs, so they don't really do anything. It's just like a normal shadow,
Yeah.
but it's more
But darker than the
solid.
darkness around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a little more solid than the darkness around them.
Yeah.
They don't really seem to do much though, which is kind of weird. Like you would think like this entity that is like traveled here,
They
there,
can.
wherever, they
They
just don't do
can
anything.
though. They can cause extreme. How should I say? Like,
Paranoia.
yeah, mental problems.
But
I guess would be the best way to put it.
Okay. I mean, there are some cases where shadow people have attempted to lure like children into unaliving themselves and doing other things. It's just not very common.
And
It happens, but it's not like
Yeah.
an every single occurrence. It's not like every single time you see a shadow person, like this thing is going to attempt to get your kids to do stupid things.
I think that's part of the folklore around them, though. They always, they're gonna take your kids into the closet, into the other dimension, and you're never gonna see them again.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Fae.
Right. But like some.
But without mushroom circles.
I mean, like the lady from the Dead Files when she was Amy. Amy?
Yeah.
Amy.
Amy, I think.
When she was younger, her first experience with the paranormal were shadow people, and they actually convinced her to bite an electrical cord, and like she almost died from it. So now.
Yeah. I have heard lots of stories of that kind of stuff where they
Yeah.
convince you to harm yourself.
Right. They convince you that you can go with them.
Yeah.
Which, for something that is like non-vocal.
It's more of a telepathy type thing.
Yeah,
To me, though, when it comes to that, that's not a shadow person. It's not a shadow being. It's not a shadow entity. That is something completely different to me.
Demonic.
Yeah, that'd be.
Well, what about the stories that say that the HM is
A demon.
like a lead demon type thing?
That's quite possible.
So I had a medium friend say that that's his entire purpose is like they all communicate with each other in their own sort of way, and he is like the head honcho, and he is a demon,
And he like,
but
just,
in
like
shadow
collects things.
person form, and he likes to collect people and souls and that kind of stuff. So
I mean, it makes sense, but it's just weird.
I don't know.
Shadow people just freak me out.
I
I don't
don't
like
know.
shadow people. Like, I don't like that they watch people. Like, that
Yeah.
creeps me. I don't like to be watched in the dark. I
No.
think that creeps me out.
No.
I'm good. I'm good.
And I don't know if it's something where shadow beings were never human, but if he convinces you to off yourself, does he get control over your soul because he is a demon? Can he turn you into like one of his little minions type thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There has to be a reason for him to want to do these things, or is it just a notch on his belt? I got another one.
Right.
I don't want to find out personally, but I would like
No.
to know.
speculation. I
Yeah.
mean, it could be any sort of thing. It could be similar to the Valkyries from Norse folklore and mythology,
Where
but
like
instead of
Jesus is dead.
chooses is dead, but maybe not for the common good.
Oh.
I don't know that one.
Interesting. It's
Valkyries choose the dead to fight for Valhalla at Ragnarok,
They
Oh.
choose half of the
slain on the battlefield.
half of the slain on the battlefield goes to Freya, and the other half goes to Odin's Hall. So, like, they fight for.
And those that don't go there go
Ragnarok.
straight to hell.
Yeah. But hell has many halls. She has many halls, and she is the being that you go to when you die like a mundane death. It's not like
Not the glorious death of battle.
and it's not like the fiery
Brimstone.
stuff in
You live out all
Christian-
eternity and
Right.
pain and agony and
the Nilfheim is the Norse version of their like underworld, sort of like it's their version of hell, and it's actually like ice covered. It's icy and snowy, and like Draugrs, which are like
that would pretty much
zombie
constitute
thing.
hell for me. Ice
Yeah.
covered.
Yeah.
Well, and like Dante's Divine Comedy, the circles of hell, the ninth one is frozen solid with Satan at the core.
Huh.
I've read Dante's Inferno.
Interesting. I don't know. I've been told I'm going to hell in so many different religions that I've lost count. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I just say no. I'm gonna come back and haunt you. That's fine.
I have a list. We have a list.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
If y'all don't communicate with me through a Ouija board and send me all the newest memes, I'm coming back to haunt you. Gotta have reason to laugh.
All right. So if you need to know anything else about the shadow people, just comment and we'll do another little snippet about them.
Yeah.
We'll do some research,
More.
in-depth research.
Yeah. So I think what's our next picture?
Oh, what else? What do we want to cover?
I don't know. You had a list.
I don't know. And then
You had your
I squirreled and lost my list. I squirreled and I lost my list.
I don't know if that constituted as a cryptid, but you had the Rougarou and the
La Llorona.
La Llorona.
I
Then there
don't
was
know.
one more.
The chupacabra.
Yeah, the Chupacabra.
That one's interesting.
We were also talking about the Jersey Devil.
I just like saying La Llorona.
La 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 la.
So, I guess the Rougarou is next. And that is a French
Werewolf.
French Canadian, it said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
French Canadian Cajun monster with some Native American stuff mixed in. 'Cause it's like a werewolf, dogman, Wendigo, Bigfoot thing. It's the
All
best way to
thrown
describe
together.
it. All thrown together.
Or, and if you don't want to go with that explanation, that's a lycanthrope.
Let's see if
Yeah.
let's see if we can. Again, I have it here.
So they walk upright like a man. He has the appearance of a wolf. He wanders the swamps and fields and forests. Academia, which is like southern swampy things.
I don't know if this can be seen or not, but there's kind of one description of it.
There's a lot of interesting versions of them, and like a lot of people use it to scare their bad kids into behaving. And
Their
saying that
Rougarou will get you.
yeah, the Rougarou will eat you. It's
Kind
I
of
don't
sounds like
know.
Krampus.
Isn't that the one? Right. He lives in like the swamp land.
Yeah, he lives in the
the
swamp
bayou and
He was created through the tales of the French who traveled to North America and also stories of the Wendigo by Native Americans, and they kind of like
Merge the two together.
they like merged them, and then like you have like it's like the size of a Bigfoot.
maybe
It's
you had a
huge.
Bigfoot and a Wendigo that had a baby. And it's a Rougarou.
Bigfoot got frisky with the dire wolf.
So like they say that anyone who is cursed can be cured by turning other rule breakers into a Rougarou. So it's very much like werewolf
Yeah.
esque. Like you
Spill the
are
blood
this,
of
and
a-
then you like turn somebody else, and then the curse is lifted from you, and it travels to a new person. It's very it's interesting.
It's not really. It's not so much just breaking the curse as just passing it on.
Right.
Right. Like it's transformed from like, just like it's like a werewolf thing to like it's kind of the same as a Wendigo. It's like the French Cajun version of a Wendigo, pretty much, 'cause it eats people.
Kids.
People.
Small human.
Small humans. This is like they use it as like a boogeyman.
Yeah.
And which I think is very
Oh,
it's interesting.
that's kind of how all of that started anyways. The boogeyman.
Right. Oh, the boogeyman's gonna get you. Like there are so many different versions
Like
of
that
the
one.
boogeyman.
Like that one you always have like dreams about.
Oh, the Bubik. That's like a scarecrow skeleton thing from Croatian mythology, and he cries like a baby to lure
Oh,
people to
yeah.
him,
There's another one that
and then
does that.
he eats you, and then his clothes are made from the souls that he has stolen.
Swallow.
Very
You know, thank you.
it's very interesting, and he haunts my nightmares. No,
No.
no.
Stop watching them scary movies before you go to bed.
Where's the fun in that? No, but yeah, he is not my favorite version of the boogeyman. I'm like, give me the dog man. I will gladly nightmare over like a werewolf,
Yeah,
a dog
I can
man,
do that.
any freaking thing else other than a giant skeletal creepy scarecrow in a cemetery.
Yeah.
That is my nightmare. Scarecrow in a cemetery, weird hat, big
Throw a
giant
clown
trench coat.
Throw a clown and a doll in there and you're good.
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
I wouldn't really say she's having a nightmare if she's dreaming about dog man and werewolf.
Right.
As long as it's not like Twilight, she'll be okay.
Really?
I don't know, maybe she might be in Twilight, I don't know.
No. So what should be our next one?
Let's do La Llorona.
I don't know so much about her.
I just read you 3 pages.
I know, and then I spoiled.
I mean, it's not like she's gonna remember.
Supposed to. Come on. It's called homework.
Okay, says the people that just decided 30 minutes before this podcast what we were deciding.
I had no idea what we were talking about. I was leaving that up to y'all.
I know. So
There's a bunch of different stories with her.
Yeah, a lot.
There's like a gazillion different ways of how she is who she is, what happened.
And what she does.
One of the stories is she was a lady named Maria. Again, who knows if that's her name, but she was married. her husband started spending less and less time at home. When he was there, he paid more attention to the kids instead of her. And eventually, he gets caught cheating, and she drowned her children, I believe.
Yeah, that's
And
like the going myth
then,
right now.
yeah, then she drowned herself or killed herself. I don't know if she
And
actually
then
drowned
And,
herself.
and now that we're talking about her, and she's based out of Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah.
Forgot
Mexican
that part.
legends.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Some versions of the story say that she kidnaps or attacks children. Other versions say she goes and attacks the cheating husbands.
Yeah.
And then there's other ones that say she doesn't hurt anybody. She's just looking for her children.
I've heard various like weird versions of her, like like she scares kids into behaving, like a lot of
Yeah.
basically
Mexican boogeyman.
yes, it's like Mexican boogeyman again. We're like
Yeah.
boogeyman theme right now, but I have a lot of neighbors that are Mexican, and they always threaten their kids that she's gonna come. Yeah, like you have to be in before it gets dark because she might come get you. You have to, yeah. And like, I was told that she was when she died, like when she offed her kids and then died herself. When she got to the gates of heaven, she was denied, sent back to purgatory, and she's now cursed to wander to find the children that she killed, and that's why she like goes after children.
Yeah, that's one of the other ones. And then the other one said that she's usually seen around bodies of water because she drowned her children and she's trying to find her children that she drowned.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, just...
I know I've heard of her when I lived in California. I heard the stories, but I don't remember a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, there's the Ruskala is like the Russian Slavic version of La Llorona. It's like
La Llorona.
Whatever. It's like almost the same.
Come on, get in touch with your Hispanic side.
No. You're Hispanic.
Look Hispanic.
No, but I'm not Hispanic. It's they come to be after women moms due to suicide or murder, especially if they had an unwanted pregnancy. Then they must stay in this world for a period of time. But it's very similar to that, which is
and they're paying their penance for what they did.
Yeah, there's a lot of cross-cultural variations.
When you think of where all these things came from, and then as people moved, then you've got this story coming from Mexico, but then 4 generations down the line they end up in Idaho, so then you get Idaho stories mixed in, and then the next generation ends up in Washington.
Yeah.
So
they say that sometimes you hear her like crying loudly, "Oh, my children, or where am I to take you?" She really mourns and like screams for her kids, and I think that's a lot of where like.
I also believe that she's connected to specific Aztec mythologies of creation stories.
Yeah. She's just interesting. She's a little interesting.
She sounds needy.
Very needy. She seems very needy. Like y'all got rid of your kids and now you're like trying to take more kids. Like, I'm sorry, but if you already didn't want the kids you had, why are you trying to take somebody else's kids? Like,
she sounds needy, like somebody else I know.
Hers. Yeah.
She
probably she regrets killing her kids, so she wants to do more to be her kids. I don't know.
Well, then even then, there's a huge variation of how many kids she actually drowned and killed, or killed in some other way. It's just weird. I don't know.
Well, the whole premise
It's
of all of
just
these things
weird.
is the weird factor and the scary factor.
Yeah. It's just.
And it seems like a lot of them are made to scare kids. Go figure.
Well, I mean, like Krampus. That's like the German Christmas demon. He was
Mm-hmm.
made to scare children into behaving, especially during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Especially during Christmas time.
I need to bring that back.
My
Does
kid is
Santa Claus-
obsessed with. My kid is terrified of Santa, but obsessed with Krampus.
My
I don't
kids, I
understand
tell
it.
them, you know, "See, you're going to be on Santa's naughty list." They're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, my kid is just. She's obsessed with Krampus. Krampus is a
Your
very.
kid is special.
Yes, she is. Krampus is like the Christmas demon. He kidnaps and or eat he. So if you're just moderately bad, he comes to your house and beats you. The next step up is if you're really bad, he takes you for a year, and then if you're really really bad, he eats you.
Okay.
It's just,
We're seeing as naughty children.
I think
say.
I'd rather just be eaten than taken for a year and done
Most women
who
would.
knows what to.
yeah, no, I'm good. I think I'm good. Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But that's what she said.
You see what we deal with.
Hey, can bring the humor.
Okay, so our next fun and weird, very weird cryptid is the chupacabra.
See, that picture that they show there is not what I've ever seen as a chupacabra.
Yeah.
Originating from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. I don't know why I do that.
This is Italian.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a Puerto Rican Italian.
Its name, chupar, means to suck, and cabras means goat.
Okay.
Literally
Where they
meaning,
got that? I don't know.
literally meaning that the chupacabra's name is goat sucker.
Yeah. I mean, if the name comes from its reported vampiricism, like he's supposed to like
He drains them of their blood, basically.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Leaves corpse behind.
There was a story, I'm gonna say it was a year within the last couple of years that there were all these,
trapped and killed it.
well, not that, but there were all these animals turning up that were drained of blood, and there was this big thing, the chupacabras are out and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I think it was probably just some
Uh-huh.
kids screwing around, but
I have a meme somewhere. Chupa corn on the cover.
Oh my goodness. So its physical description varies. Like some say he's like reptilian alien thing,
is that the A word?
and then others
okay.
he's
No.
like
I
a
won't sleep.
like a
Is that a light
dog,
I see outside the window?
and then others he's
You're gonna
like
be
a
sleeping on the couch with a big sign, get him first.
and then other like things depict him as more like dog like
Yeah.
scaly dog,
Either
like,
brown or like
leathery dog.
Yeah.
It's weird.
or
Yeah.
like a dark gray.
Ish.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, like they've been reported as far north as Maine, but mostly like
There's southern
Southern.
Texas.
mostly like a southern United States problem, not so much. We don't really get a lot of reports of that kind of stuff up this way.
They're like the warmer climate type thing.
I
Can't say I
mean,
blame them.
I mean, if they're reptilian in nature, that makes them almost cold-blooded. I would prefer the warmth too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like even the size of it varies from place to place. Like in some places he's like small, and then other places he's large. It's just weird that there's so much variation in stories about this thing.
Well, it all goes on hearsay. It's not like anybody can say, "Here, I found one." So
Right.
everybody's perspective on what's big versus what's small.
Keep talking. I want to look something up.
No. You know, you got some 6-foot guy who's gonna say, "Well, it wasn't very big," and then you've got a 5'2" person. It was huge.
Right. It's like,
I can't remember what the name of this thing is. Ah, there it is.
I never heard of that before.
Me either.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's just it's a lot of like random, again, like hodgepodgey stories, and even some of like the reports of like some stuff at like Skinwalker Ranch in
Mhm.
Utah, like some of their animals have been drained of blood. So
Mhm.
what's to say that what's really there isn't a chupacabra?
Right.
Like, what is it though? Like, nobody's ever seen it.
Right.
Other than the large wolves that they claim there.
Right.
That's a place that I don't think I want to go. I do, but they have a lot of like alien activity.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that I'm good. Like, look, I want to stay on this planet.
I'll go during the day.
They even have that kind of stuff during the day.
I
though.
feel better during the day. I can see them coming.
Yeah, a lot of people get sick and stuff there though. So yeah, I think I'm good. No.
So the next one on our list is actually one I've heard in a narration, and I had never heard of it. And the only way that it was described in the narration was as a carnivorous unicorn.
I was gonna say it looks like a unicorn.
It is called a shadavar. It's a medieval Muslim cryptid or some such, resembles a unicorn. Its horn has 42 hollow branches, which when wind passes through produces a pleasant sound. Causes animals to stand around and listen. This creature is a very voracious carnivore. Depending on how the wind passes through the horns, it is said it can cause the animal standing around to listen to fly into a frenzy. Normal animals that would be docile become ferocious. They fight each other, and when all other animals are unalived, the Shadvar commences its feast.
That is frightening.
Yes, it is.
Giant vampiric
Unicorn.
Yeah.
Meat-eating unicorn. It's like a T-Rex on 4 legs with a horn.
That is
It plays music in the wind.
Right.
a giant horned carnivorous horse. That is
But it kind of looks like the
terrifying.
body of like
a lion.
like a lion or a rhino, even with skinny legs, but it has like the abdomen of like a rhino.
Well, you gotta figure this is medieval Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're thinking back like Byzantium.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever.
I've not been able to find much on this. It's
I love how when you Googled it, you typed in carnivorous unicorn.
well, that's how I remembered it. I could not remember the name of it for the life of me. It's not one you find.
No.
It is interesting though. Like that upon seeing that, I was like, carnivorous and unicorn are not 2 words that I would think would go together. Like, I mean, they're like horses with horns. Like that's the usual like generic description of a unicorn. So the fact that like there's a carnivorous version of that is that's an interesting thought. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of this either, so give me a second. This is an American one, actually.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'll probably recognize the name if I see it.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting.
Big cat.
It's not a manticore, is it?
No.
Hmm.
I've never heard of that one.
But I've never heard of the cat of this stuff.
No, a manticore, whatever that is.
It's,
If I can find it on here, I'll pull it up.
the manticore's up at the top.
But I'm looking for the other one. I know it's an American.
Um, yeah. It's yeah. We have some weird cryptids in the States. Some really weird ones. If you're from out of the country, comment below a weird cryptid from your country and we will.
Especially Ireland. I am so intrigued with Ireland.
Oh,
I
wait, no,
want
that's
to
English.
go there so bad.
Okay, so Manticore was originally documented in Persia. They had the body of a lion. The tail was full of poisonous spines, similar to porcupine quills, and it had the face of a man. And it was carnivorous.
Okay.
That's a very weird combination of things. It's like somebody little kid drew a picture and was like, "Here,
Yeah.
I want this to be a thing."
Yeah. Right.
So, not to be confused with the Sphinx.
Yeah.
It looks about the same.
Yeah. That's yeah.
It has triple rows of teeth. It leaves no bones behind. Cryptid and their manticores are fun.
It sounds interesting. Kind of weird. I don't want this yeast.
Ooh,
Might be.
The,
let me check.
The banshee is an Irish one.
Yeah. The banshee is
fun.
an interesting creature thing. I don't know a whole lot about banshees. I know that they they yell for the original family, the original, I want to say 7 clans of Ireland, and they foretell a death in the family.
Yeah.
If you hear a banshee wail, it doesn't exactly mean your death, but somebody is going. Somebody you know is going to die.
Yes.
Yeah. Usually relatively quick.
Okay, we are gonna do a whole episode on Irish ones because holy cow, these are fun.
Oh, they are.
There's a lot of
some of the Welsh ones are pretty good too.
I want to go to Ireland. I want to do all the ghosty stuff in Ireland. I want to go explore it all and stop at a few pubs on the way.
No, it's not pulling up a picture. I've seen.
I don't know. We have a lot of like the Jersey Devil is another one that is an interesting cryptid for the States. And so apparently, when it was created, the mother lead, which is the lead, she had this was her 13th kid in 1768 or something. She wished for the baby to be the devil. And when it was born,
that's not how I've heard it, but okay.
No? Okay.
No, she cast the child out because it was born deformed.
Yeah, I was told that from what I've read about about her. She wished for the baby to be the devil. It was born with like wings and hooves and something else, like horns maybe. And now it like stalks swamp or like the forest up in that area.
I have no idea.
In
I've
Leeds
heard
Point.
things about it, but I don't know enough about it to even comment on it.
Yeah. It's a very, and there are a lot of different versions of it.
I've heard it being evil. I've heard it just being mischievous.
Yeah, there's a lot of like different ways that it looks, if it's evil or not. There's just a lot
You're
of
gonna love this name. Dingmal.
a large cat-like animal with wolf-like skin.
Ooh. Okay.
Interesting. That's an interesting
Can we go hunt those?
thing.
We want to hunt the dogmen and what was the other one we said we'd go do?
Not melon does. Y'all aren't here for that.
I did that as a
Some of
kid
these
in
say they're
Pop-Up.
fiction, but you know. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Plunkus. Well, I don't have, I don't remember the name of them. Plunkus. It's also called a dingmal. I think it might be a subspecies.
Or like a smaller or larger version of it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so what does it do? Curious. No.
Okay, so I think this is one of the more docile actually. So, damn it. Okay, so the dingmal is called dingmal, dingball, or plunkus. Giant cat sat in a giant rock in California. It was also nicknamed Dingmal Rock. Dingmals have wolf-like skin and a sad expression on their face. They have viscous bodies and have been seen spitting on a rock and studying the dirt. They have a long tail that is half their body length with a spiky ball on the end. They use the tail to scare flies away and produce splinters to fill their nests and burrows. The male hits himself in the breast with his tail to attract a female and mate. The female also has a ball that is darker than the male. Its cryptid is similar to the sliver cat.
What do they do?
So,
Like, do they eat people?
no, they're generally, I think they're, like I said, I think they're generally one of the more docile ones, kind of like Bigfoot. They don't want to be bothered.
Yeah. Interesting.
So,
They just study the dirt.
A lot. That's
It's
weird.
interesting, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. Sounds like a.
Fearsome critter told tales from lumberjacks. They were normally seen in the woods.
Yeah.
I could see that. They're all
Yeah,
out cutting the trees, and then they see one of these creepy things,
Well-
so it spreads like wildfire. Look what I saw.
Their homes, they make their homes in the mountains.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, they have long bodies, short, powerful legs, tufted ears, glowing eyes, long tail, which we covered.
Well, that could be okay. I could see why that would be scary, especially if you're in the woods, cutting trees, and it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's said to enjoy lying out in warm, sunny spots and watching the valley below. They're famous in the White Mountains, above the timberline, extending in the hills between Mount Adams and Mount Jefferson.
Hmm. At least this one doesn't seem to eat people.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. I'm down for going to hunt for this one.
I'll go look for that one.
Can we
You
at it
know.
and see if we die?
Yeah. You know, I like wolves and big cats, and
So here's another one of those
that's
similar.
kind of pretty.
This one's called the silver cat or the sliver cat.
It's kind of like similar to
Yes.
He's cute, minus the
300
tail.
pounds.
Yeah,
That's
they're
like a
Aw.
large. That's like
they're
bear size.
Could you
They're-
imagine the
That's
purr?
big.
Could you
They're-
imagine the purr though?
That is
rumble you
huge.
right out your car.
Right?
They I didn't say they were small.
What is it? A
I was
sliver
saying like
cat?
little, not like huge. Like you said, cat. My mind thinks, oh, he's like little itty bitty
No.
like-
We're talking like
Okay,
lion, tiger.
Mountain
kind of
lion,
You're looking at a
Yes.
300-pound cat, according to this, in estimates at 11 feet long. That's its tail is 11 feet long, and as powerful as any boa constrictor.
That's like that's really big. Really big. Like
That's what we're looking at and talking about right there. The nice big cat, minus the tail, of course.
Got a spiky little club tail.
Yeah.
that's
Kitty.
that's an interesting oh.
It's an ambush predator by nature. And it uses its tail to knock its victim senseless with the rounded side of its tail.
That's why it eats the people. I mean,
I'll still believe it.
like mountain lions
mean-
can do that too, though.
Right.
So I mean,
I'd die by trying to pet a mountain lion. So
you can die trying.
famous last
Better
words.
than dying running away.
If not friend, why friendship?
I mean,
If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down at least getting to pet the cat, not running away.
Yeah, just know I'm gonna die trying to pet something I probably should not have tried to pet.
My life every day. I just had a cat try to eat my face off the other day at work.
I mean, strictly speaking, not from cryptids, but I'd love to have a palace cat, but
Yeah.
that's not going to happen because they can't breathe in our.
Yeah, it's too hot.
No, it's not high enough. They're accustomed to breathing in
Oh,
the
right.
thinner
Yeah,
air.
they have to have like specialty enclosures and stuff at zoos for them because it has to mimic the
It has-
altitude.
It has to mimic high altitude.
Yeah.
But they always look like they're sad little old men.
I know, they're
Yeah.
so sad and cute looking.
How are we doing on time?
We're at 40 minutes.
Okay, I guess we better wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, happens. He ain't here, so we're rambling.
Yeah, we just ramble. I'm sorry.
All right, savages. Be safe.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications. Check us out on all the social media platforms. We are everywhere now.
Yeah, we finally have a TikTok.
We do.
We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Discord.
Great, I don't have half of these.
Yes.
Obviously we have YouTube.
Yes. We are on all the streaming platforms for podcasts now.
Yeah. Even Apple.
And please feel free to send us your ideas if you want us to cover something on a podcast, or if you want to know about something, shoot us a message on Facebook, Discord.
Comment it below.
Comment it. Our website, which is down for maintenance, it'll be back up this weekend. So if you just want us to answer questions for you individually, feel free to shoot us a message. Otherwise, if you have show suggestions, throw them in there.
We always like when people suggest different stuff for us to
Yeah,
cover.
'cause we always tend to get the same suggestions over and over and over. There was something new.
Yeah. Give us some new cryptids to look at.
Yeah, I
Alright,
pulled
so-
some pretty good ones out of mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah. We had a good shows this week.
Considering we went into this completely unprepared.
That is usually the case.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of narrations, so I find some good ones, and then I can't remember their names, so I have to look them up by description.
Alright, guys. Catch us next time. Stay tuned for shorts. We
Yeah.
throw those up whenever we get a few spare minutes. And check us out on TikTok for additional shorts,
Some of
I
our
guess.
investigation live short videos are on there from last weekend.
And
so
if we all get together to do EVPs, we'll try to throw some TikToks up there.
if we can get the recorders to actually download into.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
All right, guys, stay savage. Have a
Bye.
great weekend.